mwana kyajjeko SC eno shifuse SC
mwabadde waneno nga mwogera about mothers and I remember the post that I passed by nempulira ennaku y'amaanyi omwana yagenze n'agamba mama olinga amugye muzu. I'm like kiki abaana nga tebakyatirako ddala abakulu and omulala mama bambi yabadde n'amalibu okitegeera toyinza gaana kola ki kuseka kusanyuka
namugamba agambe ssente
ana bali tebakyalinamu yadde okuswala but of course waliwo abamubuukidde awo and they rebuked that person yabadde akola ki buli obadde agezaako okuvuma bamaama nga bamukola ki bamubuukira awo nga bamugajambula bamugaba nakanyama.
We don't choose our mothers.
This, you do not.
We choose our women, but we don't choose our mothers. And a vessel that gives you life is a vessel of honor, is a vessel of God. A mother is a mother irrespective of her looks, irrespective of her age, irrespective of her contribution in your life, by the way. That's what people don't want to hear. A mother still remains a mother irrespective of her contribution in your life. By the virtue of the fact that she gave birth to you. That's enough reason to celebrate her. Because through her, you saw this beautiful world.
I think no wonder why today we have people in their 40s and they are still struggling in life. Yeah, because most of the people today have spent their 20s, their teens, and then their 30s abusing, enjoying social media, misusing social media, and being lazy in those houses. You get it? So now we get to our 40s and there's not much that we have accomplished. I don't know King and Masanyo, but you'll help me understand. Is it about education? Is it about what is success all about? Because we seem to understand it differently. Back then, at the age of 17, as a boy child, you'd be sent out of your father's home, and you put up your hand next to your father, and you start to
one of the things, Diana, let me even cut you short.
Yes.
I think we're a pathetic generation. That's the word I was trying to look for. We're a pathetic, sad generation. And in sad, it means like we find excitement in dark jokes. We find excitement in putting people down. I'll be honest with you. 99% of anybody that you find abusing, either your mom is not educated or your mom is not looking good, either all those things, people, like, they are exactly that, pathetic than that, because they can't even give you an option, because they can't post the option.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly, because I'll tell you, anybody that actually, you post your mother and someone abuses, namgamba Carolite ingasuse, ndago nizo kwangu ndamulekwa nengo vuma atenza alina ochitegede first accept zenchaina kugwenche ugagga gwendaga you understand that Masanyo. So we have a generation that forgets to look in to remove what a log that is in their eyes and looks at the other person altogether. I'll be honest with you, nobody, even if it is my own daughter today, would not choose me to be the father if they actually had an opportunity. They would choose President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to be their father. But guess what? That's who you have. Everybody else had a particular probably choice, but we are never, it is not by our choice and by design that we are born by who gives birth to us. No. God designs it better and feels like this is the best person that actually could bring the best of you in this era, in this generation. And then that is who they are. Some of them let go of their dreams. Yandi kujemo rubuto yandi kujemo na dayo na asoma. Ato yagala mama asomiye kategeera. Yandi jemo rubuto na dayo na asoma. Kuba na option yaliwo.
Yandi kusude mtoi.
Yandi kusude mtoi kuba na option yaliwo. But there are those who have actually said, olubuto lwangereka, akana kangereka. Na kuba na kuza akana. I have seen parents, Masanyo, that have literally put on one shoe nego orubege. Soro negwako naddamu n'ateekako endala nga dino eddiba lyo liba likyakola.
abala nonga tanana steka kondalanga
nagula sole ne badda ekisinziro n'ateekako sole endala so bagita sole ne bateekako endala
waliyo ne bamama
n'ayambala emu
waliyo bamama abalina akawunti ku ssomero. I have friends that are into school administration. Mulimu abazadde abalina akawunti ku ssomero ng'akola mu katale omulala ng'avuga boda. I want to pick out two people. One akola mu katale omulala akola ku boda. Naye alina akawunti ku ssomero ewa baasa. Buli bwavuga boda ye yagamba ab'essomero omwana wange muleesa asome. Naye munzikirize buli lunaku nze ndeeta enkumi zange ezeezi
3
nga buli bwavuga boda saawa 7 bwezi tuwaleetera omwana we ku kyokulya ng'ayingiza enkumi zeezi
3 wali
mu ofiisi ya baasa. Bamufunira n'olupapula, bamufunira ne kaleeja faithfully every day. Mulimu omulala akola mu katale naye ng'omwana buli wannyuka amugamba guno omutwalo gwa ku ssomero. Kitegeeza ki nti zaakoze ze yandisevinze zigenda direct ku ssomero. Such parents that have sacrificed everything. Then this brings me to a question. Is there a right age mothers or women, I should say women because they are not yet mothers but probably in this statement. Is there a right age mothers or women should give a chance to motherhood? No government kujina emyaka omuzadde yanditandise okuzaala. Omukyala yanditandise okuzaala.
Mama yanzala wa 16. Mama yanzala wa 16 n'atuzaala tuli 8. I am only afraid that I may not make that number.
How many are you?
You are 8.
You are 8.
Yeah. We are 6.
I only afraid that we may not make that number because my wife had to pursue a degree.
Hey,
my mother, by the way, we share, gave birth to me at 16 years. 16 years. 16 years. Ku myaka 19 mama wange yali azaala last born waffe. By 19.
So now I'm afraid.
By 19 mama yali azadde omuggalanda.
So now I'm afraid that we may not be able to beat that number because if we're still in the pursuit of actually having children with the same woman, which I really want, I don't want. I can't have children with another woman. But now I'm afraid that my number cannot make 8 because otuninamu mwana wabandi omukunkumulemu mu bukulu buno okitegedde, and yet there is a career to pursue, there are other things to actually do, so you get to realize that you know what but I tell you this,
naye obutasobola omunaana naye n'osobola omusanvu
naye bannange enjawulo eri waawo. But to answer your question, Masanyu,
kituufu kisoboka, but motherhood has no age.
Yes.
The moment you conceive, the moment you get pregnant, you're a mother. We will say, actually, zingamba nya abana bobuwala nanga amana king is I missed my period zingamba happy Mother's Day in advance. Okitegera happy Mother's Day tewaliwo option indala. Tandikirawo kubirowoozaako fine tune your mind. The moment you actually start having going into your periods as a woman, you are fully a mother. In this age and era, you are fully a mother. Though there is something actually we need to actually be very considerate about. There is something that is very wrong. Kids are getting into periods as early as 9.
That's impossible.
No, it is because it is. It's actually a study that I was actually pursuing recently. Kids are actually getting into their periods at the age of 9, 10, 11.
Because of the kinds of foods
that is actually available on the market.
Some of foods induce the
hormones. Now, Masanyu, do you know that today we have seedless watermelon?
I've not seen one.
Oranges. Seedless oranges. Omuchungwa n'ogugulawo n'ogulya nenga temuli mukasigo. That means they are genetically modified. So now, those genetically modified foods will definitely have an impact on a human body that is actually consuming them. Because they grow faster, they no longer take a period, say, miezi mukago muchungwa gusoko gobereko. Tekipa kyagulinda. Miezi ebiri gumu muchungwa gukuze sebo. Kati wochirira kyonna, anytime you use it, it definitely has to have an impact on you. So now it is rushing people's lives.
Yeah.
So I want to
abana musiba mbawa buno obukoko obumalayo weeks 2.
Weeks 2 nonya akakoko kali weeks ibiri. It is a hard paper, man. So that means eddagala lyonna lye bateeka mu kintu ekyo ky'olya
that's why we even actually have obesity in children. Obesity used to affect mostly
body shaming katika internet baba ita kati ba plan diki olabo mwana ali mu pifiringa
edde embuto zaberanga z'abakyala n'abasajja
bantu bakulu
omukyala osanga omwana w'obwalanga atenda kuzina embuto ziri baana ab'obwala wakiki bali abagala babeera balinga
kati no
twagala abasajja abatalina mbuto
kati ka qualification imbakyala bagamba if you want to land a beautiful lady in Kampala ignore that tummy.
Where did you come from?
If you want to ignore,
if you want to land a beautiful woman in Kampala ng'omusanze n'ogamba kati nfunye totunula ku lubuto
lutoleke
oyinza okwekuba body shaming eri ku internet ogimanyi kati abaana abalina children that are probably obese babagamba ba planned kid bagamba badeko omwana yageja ne bagamba labo omwana w'omugagga ali mu pittu naye ng'ali ati labo omwana w'omugagga ali mu pifo naye ng'ali ati. I think we need to check the food that we give our children, and then the government has to be very intentional about the hormonal imbalance in children, because I believe that there are factors that cause that we probably neglected.
No, syrups, medication, constant medication and syrups. Now, lack of exercise. Guys, I do not know whether parents know this, but the idea that you actually give your child a phone, bw'alekeraawo okukaaba gobeeko by'okola. Mukwano, omwana wo tagenda kuzannya na banne. Bannange okuddukadukamu wabweru okuzannyazannya. It is good exercise for your child. But your children are on PlayStations, your children are on games, your children are on phones.
On TVs.
And we hosted a doctor the other time, and she told us that brain development starts from 1 day to 12 years. Brain development, I mean beyond 12 years, if you are not intentional about your child, if you're not intentional about how your child's brain will develop, and intentional about her routine during the day, that is enough sleep, what you feed them, and play. Because the brain develops in 3 stages, all in 3 levels. 1, it is food, nutrition, what you feed it. Secondly, it is sleep. You need to sleep as much as possible. You need to sleep as many hours as possible. To adults, you have to sleep at least 8 hours. 8 hours or 7 hours and above. Then to a child, she told us, a child 23 hours is okay. Abatalina byakola muleke yebake kimuyambako obongo okola ki okula. Then n'okuzannya kuno mulimu abaana kingi bana bali mu bikomera nga tebazannya tebakola ki ali ku PlayStation ali ku internet otuusa omuwala osanga abaana abali mu 12 years nenga reasoninga ng'omwana wa baby. The brain failed to develop because of the exposure.
Omwana ali below 14 years kyo kimugana okubeera fit. Okuleka bazadde be nga be bamukotogedde okitegeera unless nga mulwadde talina obulwadde that is special, but omwana atali mulwadde. How I wish Ugandans knew that we are rich mu bintu ebiri organic. Tuuka wano e Kaleere, tuuka e Nakasero, tuyina ebintu. We have matoke, we have all fruits that are rich in all vitamins zetunoonya. Abaana mbasaba syrup, but honestly speaking oyinza n'okwewala syrup n'owa abaana bo fruits zonna eziri rich in all vitamins, very important vitamins that they need in their life, calcium, what zonna gyeziri. But oba kiki oba ffe abali lazy eno generation eyaffe oba tuyina ekiso oba twabonaabona nnyo that we feel like our children right now tubakolera, you know, it's trending and it's cool for them to stay on their tabs.
I'll tell you about my
like every child has to have.
Sichikiriza mbu yesterday naguze obumonde mu supermarket, azino obumonde mu supermarket.
We help jumpstart your day like this. Wake up call.